Okay, guys, this is going to be my review of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallow. I can't say it. Damn it. This is going to be my review of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part One. Right off the bat, it does very much feel like it's just Part One, where it's all set up, no payoff. You know what I mean? And that's what I knew going into it. Where it's like, for me, it's unfair. In my opinion, it's very much unfair to kind of review this film alone. Because the ending was manufactured. And it's like many people might think, oh, that's the same thing about Empire and Return of the King and Lord of the Rings and again. But I think the thing is there, with Lord of the Rings, they did one film per book. And when, the author was writing the book, it's not like he just randomly decided, oh, I'm going to stop it there. No, he wrote kind of a part, a section of the story that told a story in and of itself. George Lucas, same thing. He told a story that needed 3 films to tell the entire story, but told mini stories over 3 films. This just felt, for me, same thing with the Mockingjay films. Like you took one story, one part of a story, and just said, eeny, meeny, miny, moe, oh, I'm going to cut it there. Literally, take it at the halfway point, split it, regardless of where the halfway point is. And I think that definitely, you could tell that. And so it's hard for me to criticize it, where it's like, when I do my review of Deathly Hallows Part 2, I'm just going to review the Deathly Hallows part of the story, the 7th part of the story, the 7th and final, part of the story. But for me, I did enjoy the set of it. For just talking about this film for what it is, I think it did do a lot of great mythology building within just this first part of the film. I loved the kind of storytelling of the Deathly Hallows stuff with almost like the motto of be careful what you wish for. You wish for the magic wand, you get killed for it. You wish you wish to bring someone back, from the dead, you'll suffer for it, and you want to be friends with the death, you'll die. And I guess just like that'll imagery was kind of cool way to spin off of that. I mean, I really enjoy that they really focus on the trio in this film, like Hermione, Ron, and Harry, because I feel like, yes, Harry's obviously always going to be the main character, but I feel like since Goblet of Fire, since Goblet of Fire, it's kind of, mainly since Order of the Phoenix, but really Goblet of Fire is kind of like that first film where it's like they kind of just sidelined. They were kind of just as much as any other character. It was Harry, then maybe Dumbledore, and then down the list is Ron and Hermione. And it's when you watch kind of the first few films, they're right in the action with Harry. Obviously with Harry still being the main character. And what I love about this film, Part 1 of Deathly Hallows, is they really seem to kind of really, continue to establish the trio of Ron, Harry, and Hermione. And I think I enjoy like Ron's, kind of Ron and Hermione's kind of relationship, as well as Harry and Ron's, and Hermione and Harry's a lot, and kind of great comedic moments, but also deep heartfelt moments, with Ron not feeling a part of the group, and worried for his family and stuff. But I also thought this film is also unlike all the other films, where it doesn't feel just like a teen school with magic. Hogwarts is very much not in this film, because every other film, the beginning was almost formulaic. The group goes to Hogwarts, and then you start to go on the adventure. This film, it was okay, we're done with this. We're taking our characters and we're putting them right into the adventure. And I think that was a really good part of it. And I enjoyed the kind of globe-trotting sense that was trying to find the sword, and the kind of necklace. I forgot what it's called. Dang. The necklace that has to be destroyed by the sword that was in Chamber of Secrets. So I love that they do call back, Chamber of Secrets with the whole sword thing. And I also enjoyed that they called back the subplot in Order of the Phoenix with having the, why do I always forget the names? When I watch the film, I know the names, but it's I can't recall them. The girl, DeFleur, Dolores, having the girl with the pink dress. So calling her back from Order of the Phoenix, who was like a very mean, principal type figure, bringing her back. So I feel like what they also did good was also just tie in the other films. God, why do I just forget the names of the characters? Mowgli. Harry Potter and the Harry Potter. I'm really, my thing is now when I'm trying Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows cast. The kind of elf guy. How do I not remember? Gosh. Where is it? Dolores Umbridge was the one I was thinking of. Dolores Umbridge, the mean teacher. But where's the elf guy, the little elf guy who protects Harry? Where is it? Gosh. I'm kind of mad about this. George Weasley, Hermione. Where is it? I really can't. I really can't find it. Damn. Oh, it's right on my head. It was at the beginning. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Because it's honestly bugging me that I can't remember his name. Okay. Dobby, right. Dobby was in it from Order of the Phoenix, or not Order of the Phoenix, Chamber of Secrets. Throw it in the mix. Obviously, we just talked about the trio kind of really, really being together, exploring Harry and, Ginny's relationship briefly. But there's a lot of cool sequences, the cafe stuff, the chase in the woods, trying to find the sword and being saved by Ron. On top of, yes, those character moments with Ron and Hermione and Harry, and the tension of, the dark tension of, like, this is definitely the most darkest film as far as setting up, the other films, and it ends with, them looking, and how it also, Dumbledore, even though dead, his presence is very much felt because he holds the elder wand, and, that's kind of, because there is, like, that kind of sense that of adventure. There is a sense of adventure because they are looking for items. They are going on a quest that is not finished by the end of this film. And I think the thing is, I love that that they have to work together, and I enjoy that it's not as simple to destroy Voldemort. It's not like Harry Potter's just better than Voldemort. You can understand he has to do a certain steps of things to do it. He has to find the sword, then destroy a series of lockets or whatever it's called. I also forgot about the kind of the necklaces, that Ron destroyed the first one of. Kind of going in that path and that kind of journey. And so I think, probably, again, like, very much exploring of a kind of a sense of adventure there, as well as stakes, because of having the Dark Lords kind of take over what's it called? Take over Hogwarts. And I think another thing is I think there's also, I think, like, the way it ends, it's not like there's, like, a big climactic thing. It's just like, okay, you end that. The way it ends, it's not like they end it with, like, a climactic thing or anything. It's not like they even end it with, like, a highlight of the film. It's just like they end it with Dobby getting killed, and then that's it. It's like, okay, he gets killed. The story's not over. Because I think, yes, all the Harry Potter films are just parts of the overall story. But they all had a story within itself. They all had a segment story. Where it's like you can watch, for example, Prisoner of Azkaban. Watch the whole Prisoner of Azkaban, and it feels like an individual story but yet part of a greater universe or greater story. Same thing with Empire Strikes Back, Return of the King, Two Towers, Fellowship of the Rings. But when you get to an example like this film, the way they end, it's not like this feels like a complete story. Because I feel like a complete story should have all the great story beats. Have, great tension, great climactic tension. Have either a big victory or a big loss. Have some big event happen that feels like you concluded something. You know what I mean? Where it's like, even in the original trilogy of Star Wars, at the end of every film, like even Empire, the heroes lost, but you never felt going out to Empire that you absolutely needed more story. The end of this film, I think that's a good way to measure, does this film really stand on its own as far as an individual film? Yes, Empire, you need, New Hope to really get, the characters and the story. But does that mean that you can't? The thing is, can you enjoy, not can you watch, can you enjoy a film on its own as far as that part of the puzzle? And with Deathly Hallows Part 1, that's my struggle. Is because going into this film, I understood it's probably just going to be, that kind of idea of all set up, no payoff. That's kind of what I got. But I'm not going to hold it against this film because innately enough, it is what I signed up for. It is part 1 of a part 2 story. So I think for me, it's unfair to judge this as its own, on its own merits, as its own thing. But nonetheless, it is its own film. They did decide to cut it up into 2 different films. That still counts for something. I still have the right to review it for what it is. So I'm not reviewing the Deathly Hallows story. I'm reviewing this segment of it, part 1 of it, as it is a film. And I think on its own, it is all set up, no premise, but still exploring the characters, no less, not exploring the overall story. Because I think the thing is, they give you a lot of exposition and they give you parts of the journey, but the journey is not complete. And so it's like when you watch what I contend is an incomplete film, that by its intent nature, an incomplete film, but hence it only being part 1 of a part 2 story, how am I going to judge it? How am I going to judge it? It's, again, only part 1 of a 2-part series within the overall 8-part series. And so it's just hard for me to kind of judge it on its own merits, because on its own merits, this film is not the greatest film. It's kind of in the middle for me when it comes to Harry Potter films. But at the same exact time, it adds a lot when it comes to characters. I think the adventure at hand and the mystery at hand of kind of finding the Hallows and, finding the sword to kill the Lockets, which will allow them to kill Voldemort. All that stuff was actually a pretty great addition. Stay tuned for more videos coming at you. And so, yeah, overall, I still like the film.